All right, so this is my activity 4 HP assignment, and I'm gonna show you a particular movement. And in tennis, there's like, I would say 4 main shots. So your forehand, your backhand, your serve, and then your return. I'm gonna show you the movement on the return. So a couple things you should know about the return. That's one of the 2 most important shots for sure because the serve and the return. So if you don't know how to get those in, you're finished because if you're serving, you have 2 chances on those, but then on the return you only have 1, and that opponent has possession first because he can serve as hard as he wants as long as he gets it over the net and in the box. So you need to have good footwork, and you need to know like how far to take back the racket, how far to step forward, and all those things. So I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna tilt the camera a bit. So you'll only be able to see my legs first. But so a position that I like to get in. So this was like the side he's serving on. I would get into this position where I'm pretty low with my feet, so I'm pretty loaded with my feet here, because I want to be ready to jump. Because if I stay flat-footed and let's say he goes right or he goes left, so right on the do side would be wide, and then left, and then backhand. So forehand on the right on the do side would be wide, and then backhand would be T, and then on the ad side, backhand would be wide and forehand would be T. So we'll talk about the do side. So I like to stand with one leg forward, one leg back, so I can go. If the guy's serve is mediocre, I would go step 1 foot forward and then split step. So you split step because you need to know which way to change direction. So if I'm standing flat-footed like this, just not bending legs or anything, and you're not going to be able to change direction fast, because sometimes if you play on like grass per se, which is like really fast, so the ball bounce and go fast, you need to be able to think on your feet like quickly. So a lot of people will guess in that scenario. So if you guess and you guess wrong and you're flat-footed, you don't split step is what they call it. This is split step, jumping every time the racket touches the ball on their side. If you don't split step, you'll be like thinking it's going this way, and then you have to change. You won't be able to change. So you step forward. So first step, you always hold continental grip. That's just like, if I put the racket down, I'm shaking hands with the racket. You hold it like this, and I'm a one-hand backhand, so I hold it like this, the one of the neck of the racket, because I swing with one hand on both sides. If you're a two-hand, you swing. You hold here, and you go like this. Step forward, split step. That's the first step. Then the second step is whether it goes to the forehand or to the backhand side. So let's say if it goes to the forehand, I take a step forward, split step, and then I would go 1 step out and then hit the shot. And sometimes it'll be way wider and you'll have to run a like 4 steps, I would say at max. And then you go and then you do your swing. And then, here, let's tilt this up a little bit. So then on the backhand, same thing. Step forward, right? Step out and swing, right? It's the same thing on both. And then if you're two-hand backhand, you step forward, split step, back, out, like that. For a serve that is more powerful, like guys that are tall like me for my age group, like 6 foot, they'll have big serves. Like everyone knows this. So you'll go like this. You'll step, but both feet will be at the same stance, like the same level. You'll go like this. And what some people like to do is they like, as soon as they see like they toss the ball, you go back and then you start bouncing your feet, and then you split step, and then you're way behind the line. So like, even though they serve big, you'll be behind the line and you're able to rip it high, so it gives you time. And then a forehand, backhand, it doesn't really matter because you're way behind, so the ball comes right into your strike zone. And then on the backhand, you'll get time, right? What else? To keep in mind where your racket has to be, it should always pretty much be, like some people like to keep it a little bit more on the backhand side, because strategy is to serve the backhand, like especially first serve. It'll always go to sometimes first serve they like to mix it up, but second serve will always go to the backhand, start at the weakness, because if they miss that serve, it's game over. And then if they give an easy ball, because you have to go a little lighter on that serve, obviously, they give it to the forehand, I can rip it and hit a winner. On the backhand, it's not so easy. Some people can. Once in a while, I'll hit a winner, but not all the time. So stepping in. So if I want to step in and the ball's high, you need to make sure you load your legs and be ready to jump up and hit the ball. And you need to make sure you're extending on the forehand a lot. So when I'm hitting, I hit like this and I'm extending. But notice how I'm not going to go all the way back here. I'm just going to go from here to here because first of all, the serve's coming quick, especially on grass and hard court. Maybe clay, it'll go slower so you can take a full swing. But on hardened grass, you have to forward, take it here, and then just swing. Backhand, forward here, and swing. Use their power. You don't use your own power because it's going to go so far out. You don't have that much room. And if you take it back way too far, you'll also catch it late. And people don't talk about this, but you can hurt your wrist a lot. If the serve is really big, you'll hurt your wrist. And the ball go flying that way on the forehand and that way on the backhand if you catch it late. So if I'm standing this way, more ideal is to catch it here. And then on the return, try to hit down the middle, just straight back at him. Forehand, standing like this. Here is perfect. A little bit here and there is just fine, but like this is bad. Like if I'm hitting it here, it's bad because you can't follow through properly. Here, it'll go too far across. So those are pretty much the basic footworks on the return of serve. I would say it's the most important shot in tennis because serve, you have two chances, right? Return, you'll only ever get one chance. And if you miss that, let's say you're down match point, you're up match, let's say you're up match point positively. So if you have match point and you have a return and you mess up that return, you screw it up, you probably won't get another chance because he can ace you on the next one. So the footwork is very key on that. Like I said, continental grip. Easy way you can tell the grip is, let's say I'm shaking somebody's hand, you shake the hand, that's your continental grip, right? Forehand grip, let's just tilt this a little bit more. I put the racket down and I just grab the racket. This for normal, like for beginners, is normally the way. And then for backhand, you grab it and sometimes you want to go, you hold it and you go a little over. So just a little bit. Because on the backhand, if you hold this grip, you'll go over the ball too much. And you need to go a little bit more under the ball so you can get more height on the backhand. Because on the backhand, it's like on the one hand, you can get more power. On two hands, it's very tough to get power compared to one hand because one hand's very loose. So thanks for watching. That's my tips on the return. I mean, I don't know how good it'll be, to be honest. I'm more of a serving guy, bigger guy, so like 6'1", so I prefer to serve, but I'm pretty good returner, I'd like to say. So that is what I would recommend. There's plenty of different ways to do it, but that's just my personal way that I like to do. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps.